What is up, my friends? It is myself and Mr. Paddy Murphy back with another match reaction after Liverpool's reign as FA Cup holders was brought to an end by Brighton. And I don't know about you, Paddy, but this one hurts, man.
It does, because for once we actually played quite well, or certainly better than recent times. And yeah, to lose it right at the end there is bitterly disappointing. But a draw would have been a fair result, in my opinion. But I suppose we were lucky against Wolves in the last round, so maybe it all irons out. But yeah, no, it's sad. It's just sad times at the moment. Especially when you think, okay, we're not going to lose today. My mood won't be instantly ruined. And then that happens. A little bit of magic from Matoma, and yeah, we're out the cup.
Do you want me to make you even sadder? Do you want me to make your day a little bit worse, Paddy?
Sure, why not?
Jurgen Klopp, our beloved manager, has confirmed that Liverpool will be playing Cluedo on Tuesday night when the transfer window comes to a close, because we have no more plans, Paddy, to do any business between now and the end of the January transfer window, and that comes directly from the gaffer himself.
To be fair, that's probably this team doesn't need any. This team's fine, isn't it? Though the midfield's great. There's nothing that could help this team at all. It's not like we're one of the most profitable clubs in the world at the moment. No. We don't need signings. No. John W. Henry and FSG. Like any fan who is FSG in, just look at that quote. Welcome to mediocrity. Accepting mediocrity. We are so. Oh, I'm in pain.
I know that feeling, Paddy. I know it only too well. And look, let's call a spade, Paddy, as we like to do. Mohamed Salah, once again, anonymous today in his performance. And I know people are going to have a go at us and say that we're being overly harsh on Mohamed Salah, but the game is about difference makers. Brighton had their difference maker in Matoma. We're paying our difference maker 350 grand a week, and he is invisible.
Invisible is a great word, and when he is visible, it's abysmal football. He is playing. He's offering nothing, and I mean literally nothing at the moment. He doesn't do anything. He can't beat a man. He can't pass. He can't. He's irrelevant right now, and he's playing terrible week after week and still playing. It's such a silly decision. I would firmly be starting Ben Doak over him at the moment on the right wing. I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he can change it, but. I will say I do feel for him. Like the Liverpool he knows with the front three of Salah, him, Mane and Firmino are gone. Well, really, and then Trent isn't performing behind them either. So he is in a faltered system, but he still should be doing a lot better. The best players can do better.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of grief as well towards Harvey Elliott and stuff, and I feel really bad in these because you're talking about one a senior pro at the peak of his career. Getting paid a lot of money, and the other a 19-year-old who's been moved around in every different position. So I don't feel like it's fair to judge them on the same level. Elliot wasn't good enough today. I'm not going to disguise that. But I don't get where we are with Mo. You've seen early doors, Paddy. He was put through. It may have been offside, but either way, he needs to put the ball in the net and then worry about VAR afterwards, and he just dragged it wide.
I think it's just confidence. Like confidence is such a vital factor for footballers, especially attackers, goal scorers, and he's lost it all, and we've lost confidence in him. I think it's worrying, really, really worrying, because it's not just this season. By the way, he was awful last season too. In the majority, kind of picked up a little bit towards the back end, but in the majority for the last year, he's been way off it. And I'm starting to think that the new contract was. Actually, no. We probably had to give him a new contract because we aren't going to sign anyone else. So, it could have been a silly decision. I don't know. I think maybe he's lost all motivation and confidence.
Let me move on to Cody Gakpo for a minute, because I actually thought that was his best performance in a Liverpool shirt so far. I thought Gakpo did really well, and I could really see what Klopp meant when he spoke about Gakpo defending from the front.
Yeah. Said the same myself in my match reaction. Definitely the best game he's played. And I also said anyone who actually writes him off and is a Liverpool fan, I won't even converse with, because it's just ridiculous. But yeah, you can see what Gakpo brings. You can see he has the pace, he has the power. Well, not so much the pace, but he's the power, the link-up play. And yeah, he's one for the future, one for the now. And done well today. Still no goal, but it was a good performance.
I want to move on to the manager for a second, Paddy, because I was happy with the team selection. I was relatively happy with the performance most of the way through. But once again, I have a lot of questions around Jurgen Klopp's substitutions. I can give him the Bajcetic one because of the yellow. I'll give him that one. bringing, let's say, Henderson on for him. But after that, Fabinho was awful, very forced. We'll move on to him in a second. But the changes from Kloppo today, I mean, they weakened us, if anything, right?
Any substitutions that involve Curtis Jones coming on and is just instantly terrible. That, oh god, the subs weren't great. The game, it wasn't fantastic. I'd love to know what Ben Doak and Carvalho have to do to get minutes. You know, we needed a goal in that game. Why can't we bring on attackers? I don't see like when we're drawing a game and you need to win it really, because I know there's a replay, but they don't want the replay. They want to win. What does Curtis Jones bring? Why has he thought, oh, let's bring on Curtis Jones? He never offers anything, and it's no coincidence, by the way, we conceded as soon as he was on the pitch.
Well, look, Carvalho obviously is out with a knock today, but I'm the same as you. I just wonder what goes through his head. Like, what does Klopp think Jones is going to do when he brings him on? Because we've had no recent history of anything other than objectivity and just ghosting through the few minutes he gets. I don't get it. I'm honestly, Paddy, this lad. I'm starting to get wound up by it, but I almost feel like someone's playing a prank on us. He just isn't at this level at the minute.
He's not. He wouldn't. Honestly, I would say loan him to the championship, but I wouldn't actually back him to do well in the championship. I think he's that poor. He's just a whole lot of nothing. There's nothing to him. I think Klopp must like him because passion, running. Klopp, there must be some sort of like fee that Liverpool get every time a Scouse player plays for the club. He's probably thinking, right, we need the Jude money, we need to up it up. There must be some sort of thing, but there is no redeemable quality with Curtis Jones in the slightest. I cannot name one positive from that man.
Either can I. Honestly, I'm at a loss as to why he's getting minutes at the minute. There's some chatter, and I have to say, I think you will be the same. I am certainly not a Jurgen Klopp out person, and I don't think I ever will get to that point. But there are some people who are starting to ask, how long could this go on before maybe the manager's role comes under scrutiny? Now, for me, he's got till next season anyway before I even consider it. But I do understand some frustration by people. But this is why, again, Paddy, I would say we want our owners to give them transfer funds to go out there and make a difference. Today, we've seen Chelsea make another signing, a fullback they brought in today for 24 odd million quid.
Yeah, Gusto Leon, right? I'll never ever be Jurgen Klopp out for him, genuinely. He's done too much for us, and there's too much loyalty there. But anyone who looks at the situation and thinks, yeah, Jurgen Klopp out, that's the thing here. No manager in world football comes into this squad and gets better out of them than Jurgen Klopp. It's some of the players just aren't good enough. They aren't at the races. The problem lies at the feet of the owners and the lack of investment. And then people will say, "Oh, you spend money." We only ever sell to buy, and we are. This team needs a whole new midfield. We need two new midfielders at least, and we're not even getting them. That's the problem, not Jurgen Klopp.
So we're out of the FA Cup, we're out of the League Cup. We're pretty much out of the title race. Top four is potentially still on, but it's Champions League or nothing this season, Paddy, for a trophy from last season where we were in all of them till the last day.
I tell you, it's not a bad one to hang your hat on. And
just a small matter of Real Madrid, though, Paddy, to come. Just a small matter of Real Madrid.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a lot of blind hope. But there's so many parallels with the last time, 2005, Istanbul, faltering in the league, out of everything else. Yeah, who knows? Probably not, to be fair. But while you're telling me there's a chance. While there's a chance, I'm going to hope. Probably not going to happen, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm not going to knock you for being optimistic. I mean, I hope for one of those magical Anfield nights as well. Right, last thing before we finish up, Paddy, Fabinho, Jurgen Klopp brought him on, and look, I mean, I would have had no qualms if David Koo had given him a red card for that. It was not a good challenge on Evan Ferguson as well, and I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, I would have. He should have been a red card, and to be honest with you, I wished it was, because it would mean he was banned. So we don't have to watch him play. Awful challenge. And yeah, I hope Ferguson's all right. It looks like a sore one. And while our club is failing, there's a little hope around the national team. Some good young players coming through. Him being one of the main ones, and hopefully he'll be back for those games, or the game against France on the 29th of March. Hopefully it's not serious, but yeah, very clumsy from Fabinho. You could see it on his face. He kind of knew he fucked up, and he's lucky not to get a red.
Were you surprised that Coot wasn't asked to go to the monitor and have another look at that?
Massively. It was very dirty. No ball, nothing. Yeah, I'm very surprised. We got off one there, and if he had got a red card there, he would have carried over to the Premier League, wouldn't it? 3 domestic ban.
Honestly, I would be lying if I said I knew the answer to that.
I'm pretty sure it would have been a 3-game domestic ban, so it would have included the league. So it would have been a helpful thing for Liverpool because it would have forced Klopp to keep Bajcetic in there, which I hope he does. It was
Yeah,
great.
he looked good.
Yeah,
So I think he did really well as well, managing through yellow early doors.
yeah.
Last thing, Paddy, absolute last thing. Defensively switched off right at the end. I mean, it was just a dinged free kick to the far side, ball play back across. If I'm not mistaken, Gomez was turned first, and then there was Jones and Darwin just standing there, almost just watching as Matoma brought it down, and a beautiful piece of play by him, stabs it into the roof of the net.
Mm.
Just all too avoidable for me.
Yeah, it's a shame. It just all it takes is a moment of defensive lapse, and then you lose the game. But it was good for Matoma though, a very well taken goal. But yeah, a couple of the lads were spun to be fair. But I think sometimes you can just call it individual brilliance. There's very few players that have that kind of trickery in them, and we're just very unlucky. Like very unlucky. It's a shame, but Craig, I'm not gonna lie. This team doesn't need a replay, and we probably weren't going to win that cup no matter what because there's at least 4 or 5 teams better than us left. So I think hopefully it can be a blessing in disguise when we lift the Champions League in May.
Fingers crossed. Look, we're going to hand it over to you guys in the comments. Let us know if you agree or disagree with what myself and Mr. Murphy have had to say. And again, thank you for your support on the channel. Do drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday if you can. The Reds have dumped themselves out of the FA Cup, and all roads now lead to Molineux next week for the Premier League. We will talk to you then. Thank you to Paddy. Thank you to you guys.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.